Hey guys, and welcome back to more Let's Watch Death Battle. I am the Max of Your Trades. This episode today that we are watching is Ragna the Blood Edge of BlazBlue versus Soul Badguy of Guilty Gear. And I'm actually kind of ashamed to admit this, but this is actually the first time in Death Battle history that I have absolutely no clue who these characters were until the fight was announced. I'm usually really good with knowing lots of fictional characters, and I've heard of BlazBlue, and I've heard of Guilty Gear, and I've seen gameplay every now and again, but I don't know, I knew next to nothing about the characters or who they are or any of that stuff, so when they announced the fight to the research team and I, it was kind of a brand new experience. It's like, I don't know who these people are, but they look kind of cool, so that's pretty great. However, I also like to really only really get involved with certain fights and researching certain fights if I'm either really aware of who these characters are or at least am passingly aware of who they are. So I actually didn't do a whole lot of research for this specific fight, but I do know some things about both. They're both anti-hero type characters. They both have huge swords. They're both very, very deadly in their own universes. I think Ragna's some kind of vampire, and Soul is some kind of dragon. And if their lives are threatened, or I don't know, they just let go of their power and let the thing that gives them their power consume them. Like, Ragna has like this weird beast, shadowy, dragony thing, I think? I'm not entirely sure what it is. But it is a huge monster, and I think, yeah, I heard about Soul. He has a headband, and if he takes it off, he can turn into a dragon? That's basically the prevailing theory I heard, so that's pretty interesting. So, yeah, I don't really know a whole lot going into this. Next to nothing about, really, their backstories and the like. I didn't want to really taint the results of the fight by potentially throwing in research that could be errors, or just flawed, because not knowing much about them, that while I was completely unbiased, I don't know, I could have gotten details wrong and that could have done something bad, and I didn't want to do any of that. So, that's pretty much the shortest introduction I've ever done. Let's just watch this fight and see a good old-fashioned sword fight, why don't we? Let's do this. Another death battle. Always exciting.
No anime tough guy trope is complete unless he has outrageous spiky hair, a sword that's clearly compensating for something, and belts. Lots and lots of belts. Ragna, the Blood Edge. And Soul Badguy.
Maybe that's why I'm such a wimp. I don't have enough belts. I don't even have a belt.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Alright.
Nearly a century ago, humanity was hunted to near extinction by the fearsome Black Beast. Fortunately, 6 brave heroes slayed the monster and saved mankind.
Yay!
The remains of humanity was reorganized under an oppressive government.
Boo!
Until one man decided to rise up. Ragna, the Blood Edge.
Oh, well, look at that guy. I like his coat. Kind of reminds me of Dante.
Giant sword, brooding personality. Ragna has tragic backstory written all over it.
I'd actually go with gruesome. As a young child, he and his siblings were confined in an experimental facility as lab rats.
Bummer. What were they trying to do?
No one knows. The important thing here is they were rescued by a talking cat named Jubei,
Kitty!
who also happened to be the most feared warrior on the planet.
Huh.
However, things took a darker turn when Ragna's sister Saya grew very sick.
With what?
Sickness? No one knows. Ragna took Saya under his wing, but their younger brother Jin was irritated that Ragna was not spending more time with him. Being a reasonable guy, he decided the only solution was to murder his brother.
Oh yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I'm lonely. I'll kill one of the only people I care about. Great plan.
Okay.
So then a maniacal hipster villain named Yuki Terumi showed up out of nowhere, helped Jin impale Ragna through the chest, and then cut off his arm for good measure.
Why? How? No one knows. Have you familiarized yourself with that phrase yet? Good, because it's not stopping anytime soon.
Moving on, for sanity's sake, Ragna would have been done for.
Hell of a backstory.
A traveling pig-tailed vampire descended from the heavens, snapped her fingers, magicked him a new arm, and left. No, Don't think, just accept.
Surprisingly still conscious, and apparently an expert of things that have never happened before, Ragna instantly recognized his new appendage as an Azure Grimoire, a piece of the Black Beast which Ragna can use to manipulate Seether. Seether is a radioactive energy left behind by the Black Beast all over the world.
Like magic,
Well, no, magic is totally different.
but it lets him do magic-type stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, after missing out on the maiming and resurrection of Ragna,
Wow.
Jubei the cat ninja returned and decided to teach him the ways of combat.
Where the hell was he before? No one knows.
Probably destroying someone's furniture or pissing in their shoes.
Through his training, Ragna's control over Seether became practically unmatched. He can form various parts of the Black Beast in combat, transform his own arm into razor-sharp claws, or drain the soul of his foe through his strikes.
Wow.
But if he needs more power, more defense, and more soul-sucking, he can crank these up to 11 with his Blood Cane form.
Upon completing his training, Jubei bestowed upon him a red cloak and a deadly blade called Blood Sight.
Neat.
This baby can extend for stabbing strikes, and like the Azure Grimoire, slowly drains the souls of its victims upon contact.
Ooh.
And before you point out that it's clearly a sword, not a scythe, it can do this.
Now it's a sword that turns into a scythe. Well, that's convenient now, isn't it? I'd call it a blood scythe sword.
Ragna's angsty rage took him on a world tour of single-handed government.
So much angst.
Earning him the nickname, the Grim Reaper.
And racking up an unprecedented bounty
You.
of 90 billion, whatever their currency is. No one knows. And despite being the largest bounty of all time, he still freely walks the world on foot and in public with no attempt to disguise himself whatsoever.
Probably because nobody wants to piss him off. Talk about a guy who treats getting knocked through solid concrete as an inconvenience, has survived multiple impalings through the chest, took out hundreds of armed officers without breaking a sweat,
Wow.
and obliterated an entire street with a single one-hand sword strike.
Damn.
Ragna is referred to by some as the most powerful man in the world, but he's also known as a risk-taker with a short temper.
And despite being trained
So he's an anime character.
any cat in the world, Ragna is obviously nowhere near Jubei's level of skill, who terrifies even the deadliest villains of the series.
But after all was said and done,
Kitty.
Jubei left Ragna with a dire warning. Never think of the Azure Grimoire as your own.
Which is kind of bullshit. I mean, it's attached to him, so I'm pretty sure he's got dibs.
Well, he does, but if he loses control over it, it can transform him into the Black Beast itself.
Ah.
In fact, Ragna was the original Black Beast, sent back in time after falling into a magic cauldron. The two were somehow separated and did battle in the past. These events would repeat themselves in a 100-year time loop until this chick saved Ragna from falling into that cauldron,
Oh.
stopping the Black Beast from appearing in the past in the first place.
But if the Black Beast never went back in time, then it would never have created Seether, and everything in BlazBlue shouldn't exist as we know it. So how?
No one knows!
Can we just make this guy fight someone now?
I'm the main character, and yet again, I get left in the dark. It's really starting to piss me off.
I like that guy. His story makes no sense.
2010, the discovery of magic forever changed the course of human history.
Far off future.
Technology was eliminated for newer, environmentally friendly methods. And after improving the planet, a certain world superpower sought to improve mankind itself.
Oh, hey, another super soldier project. Let me guess, they injected this guy with some serum and it didn't really work out the way they wanted, but now he's a badass.
Replace serum with magic, and close enough. This man would emerge as the feared bounty hunter, Soul Badguy.
So he's clearly the bad guy.
Actually, he's the main hero of the story.
Why would
Before his transformation, he was known as Frederick.
Why would you give him that name?
Project alongside his love interest, Arya. But whether he intended to or not, Frederick would become the prototype of this new super race, the Gears.
But is he guilty?
Oh, hell yeah. He was responsible for Arya's death.
Oh.
And then her next death when she was resurrected into this thing.
Huh.
Oh, wasn't expecting her to look like that, but not as much as I wasn't expecting the blue robo-penis. Who even does that?
She was likely created as a giant FU to poor soul by that man.
Which man?
That man.
I only see Soul Bad Guy.
No, it's that man.
It's just you and me here, Wiz.
Listen, the villain is that man.
Soul Bad Guy's the hero and the
They're Abbott and Costelloing this thing.
Just pretend Soul Bad Guy's not there.
You mean he's invisible?
When this person was born into the world, his parents looked at this child and decided they would name him that man.
Who were they looking at, Wiz?
His name is T-H-A-T space M-A-N.
Well, F-U-C-K space Y-O-U. I'm out. So I looked at the internet and discovered that his actual name is that man. I apologize for earlier. Let's move on.
Soul was maintaining a human appearance to disguise his true gear form. So he developed a special limiter headpiece to keep his own power at bay.
Okay, headpiece.
If that thing comes off, say goodbye to whoever recently
Looks
put
like a
it on.
headband.
As a gear, Soul's aging was slowed to a near halt, allowing him more than enough time to develop his own fighting style.
Awesome.
Well, whatever fighting style lets you punch fire, that's the one I want to learn. Soul's volcanic viper and Fafnir punches are flame-enhanced strikes, while his riot stomp flies in with a fearsome kick. And because this is anime, Soul can trigger his second form, the Dragon Install.
The Dragon Install allows
You're not a
Soul
warrior
to
without a
up to
transformation.
fraction of his full gear power, boosting his strength, speed, and healing ability. The drawback, he can only sustain this power for so long, and afterward, he's left vulnerable.
Ah.
As Soul wandered the earth, that man began a plan for world domination using an army of gears. In response, Soul put together a gear-obliterating superweapon called Outrage.
Which looks like the world's most complicated can opener. Or next-gen Bop It.
Turns out, it was so
Bop
powerful,
it.
nobody could wield it.
Twist it, turn it.
Soul. So he had to split it apart into 8 pieces just to make it usable.
Neat.
Naturally, he took the best piece for himself, the flame-enhanced Fire Seal. I want a Fire Seal, that'd be fucking sweet. Try and eat me now, Orca Whale. Fire Seal!
Soul defeated that man's forces.
Womp.
And then he decided to upgrade the shit out of it with the Junkyard Dog Mark III casing.
But this is hardly the full extent of Soul's power. He once survived the backyard, an alternate dimension which would annihilate the soul of a normal man. And by removing his headband, he can access his full unrestrained potential.
Wow.
Like when he shot a laser out of his sword to incinerate an inhuman gear the size of Mount Everest.
And once he went back in time and witnessed his past self get murdered, which should have erased him from the present a la Marty McFly. But he didn't like that idea very much, so he just didn't.
After Blaze Blue, nothing is too bizarre for me anymore.
Okay.
Soul is powerful, but fears his full potential. He's also pretty lazy. His favorite strategy is always whichever is the least strenuous. This lack of extra effort can sometimes leave him underestimating his opponent.
But the second he starts trying, few can stand in his way.
Interesting.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a
No, we have to talk about this first. All right. So, what have we learned? Both more powerful than one would expect, but at the same time, just as powerful as you would expect from an anime-influenced type background. Equally tragic, equally anti-hero-ish, all that good stuff. Okay. So, the common consensus, from what I've heard, like, the comment section when the fight was announced, and from my fellow researchers, and just about everyone everywhere, that Soul that ultimately has the edge over Ragna, and I can't say I really saw anything that really disputes that claim. The fact that Ragna can sort of eat someone's soul with his sword might do something, but, I don't know. I feel like people probably have a good handle on this. If you're asking personally who would I like to see win more, I think Soul. I mean, I think he just kind of looks like a cooler character. I mean, I'm sure I like Ragna though. I like his sword and I like his coat, and his backstory is messed up to the nth level, but that's still pretty cool. I guess ultimately I'll go for Soul winning, because way back in the day, another BlazBlue character named Tawakata fought Felicia in Death Battle, and she beat Felicia, and that really upset me at the time. So I guess I'll just hope that Soul beats this BlazBlue character, and everything will work out for everyone. I don't really know. Everybody could be wrong. They could have come up with something nobody thought of. Let's just watch a cool sword fight. Let's do this. A fight in the rain. Ah! Just walks by. You're an eyesore.
Who are you? Out of my way. You're dead. You gotta be kidding me. Let's get this over with.
I'll burn you to a crisp. I like how he speaks Japanese, but Ragna doesn't. That's kind of funny. Dang. Ah! I like the kick to the face. Oh dang! Mountain the comeback! Ow! Whoa! Oh, we got super forms! Hmm? Whoa!
I'm not gonna waste any more time on you, ass.
Huh. Oh! Oh, they're both gonna transform. Makes sense. Show their full power. So how powerful is the Black Beast exactly? I mean, he's very big and has lots of heads, so that's usually a good sign. Surprise! I'm a dragon! Wow.
Bullseye.
Well, alright.
Ragna put up a tough fight, but Soul had him outclassed.
Likely due to the fact that while Ragna had on 4 belts, Soul had 18.
Ha!
Soul's centuries worth of fighting experience trumped Ragna's training, and he has consistently shaken off wounds more easily.
Even Soul is tough enough to withstand Ragna's Azure Grimoire, just like when it survived the backyard.
The Black Beast was impressive, but Soul's gear form is leagues above. Recall when Soul turned that gear the size of Mount Everest into dust. By comparing the size of the gear to the clouds, we can determine its volume to be around 140 billion cubic meters. Destroying something this size would require more than 85 gigatons of TNT.
Whoa.
That's nearly 200 times more powerful than the 9.0 earthquake that hit Japan in 2011.
Damn!
More than enough to take Ragna down, and that was only a fraction of Soul's real power. Ragna just burned out in the end.
The winner is Soul Badguy.
Rock on! Go Soul!
Next time on...
Alright, what we got? Oh, they're finally doing it! Damn! They told us to research this fight like over a year ago! Garon Toph. I don't know what to say. Boy. I'll talk about it in a bit.
Have an idea for a death battle?
They always do.
Comments below.
But if you're looking to kill some more time, go watch our intern Jocelyn's new show, The Desk of
Already
Death.
did.
Then we don't have to pay.
Or if you demand more blood, check out Great Moments in Gaming's latest episode on Mortal Kombat's Blood Code.
Oh, and future Death Battle episodes are moving to Wednesdays, a whole 2 days early.
Thanks for watching.
Sweet.
No. Click the like button. Do it. Also, tell everyone you know about
I'm doing that right now.
Share away. And if you're not already subscribed, then click subscribe.
Alright, that was pretty awesome. Hey, for not knowing who either of those guys really were, they still managed to make a fight very cool and interesting to watch, gotta say. But yeah, I guess everyone was right. Soul just had a little too much power, even for Ragna. Unfortunate, but hey, he put up a hell of a fight now, didn't he? As for next time, we've got Garon versus Toph, and I actually watched as much Naruto as I could. I watched all of Avatar. That one was significantly easier. And I can say without a doubt that I like Toph more as a character. She was pretty much just her and Sokka were my favorite characters in the whole series. So I really want Toph to win. And it's not impossible for her to. But I feel like she's going to be fighting a hell of an uphill battle with Garra. But I guess it all comes down to sand bending, because Toph got better at it. But I don't know if she got good enough to, keep it away from her. If she can bend sand away from her 100% of the time, then Garra really won't have much of a way of attacking her, so she has a chance. But, this was Ragna versus Sol. I guess I don't really have much to say. I don't really disagree anything. It was really cool, really fun to watch. I hope you guys had a fantastic time, and, I guess if you only watch if you're only on my channel to watch these fights, I'll see you in 3 weeks for Garra versus Toph. And I'll see you all later.